October 3rd, 2022. I found the first note tucked under the attic floorboard. A scrap of paper, ink smeared, the words barely legible. They watch from the corners. I laughed it off, attributing it to my sister's prank. Yet, as night fell, the house seemed to inhale, the walls exhaling a cold that settled deep in my bones. The attic was a cathedral of dust, beams sagging like old ribs, each plank groaning under the weight of forgotten years. I knelt, fingers trembling, and brushed the paper against the rough wood. The ink bled into the fibers, as if the note itself were trying to seep into the house. A faint scent of mildew and something sweeter, like old perfume, clung to the air, a scent I recognized from my mother's childhood, though she had died before I was born. I heard a faint thump above me, a soft, deliberate knock that seemed to come from the very corners of the room. I turned, heart hammering, and saw a shadow shift where the light shouldn't have been, a darker shade of the attic's gloom. It lingered, then dissolved into the grain of the floorboards. I told myself it was the house settling, the wind finding its way through the cracks, but the note pulsed in my pocket like a living thing. Later, while sorting through boxes of my father's old journals, I discovered another scrap, half-torn, tucked between the pages of a diary he never wrote. The handwriting was jagged, frantic. "Do not trust the eyes that never blink." My skin prickled. I recalled the night my sister had left, her sudden departure after a fight. The way she swore she heard whispers in the hallway, voices that sounded like my own thoughts spoken aloud. She had never believed me when I said the house was alive. That night, the wind howled louder, rattling the shutters. The house seemed to breathe in sync with my pulse, each inhale pulling the darkness closer to the corners. I sat in the living room, the only lamp flickering, casting long, trembling shadows across the walls. The corners, those empty angles where the light never quite reached, started to thicken, as if a substance was gathering there, a blackness that swallowed the weak glow. I tried to stand, to leave, but my legs felt glued to the floorboards. The floor beneath the attic note creaked, a low, rhythmic moan, like a heartbeat. From the corner opposite the fireplace, a shape emerged, not a person, but a silhouette of pure absence, edges frayed like torn fabric. It drifted forward, its surface rippling with a silent scream. I could hear my own thoughts echoing back to me, distorted, as if someone else was listening. The note in my hand slipped from my grip, fluttering to the floor, landing beside a cracked picture frame. The frame held a photograph of my family, all smiling, but the faces were blurred, their eyes dark pits. I realized then the corners were not just empty space. They were mouths, waiting, hungry for the breath of anyone who dared to linger. I screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the house before it could leave my lips. The darkness surged, filling every corner, every crevice, until the world became a single, suffocating void. In that final breath, I understood the true meaning of the note. They watched from the corners, and now I was one of them, forever glued to the attic floor, a silent witness to the house's endless hunger.